Okay, dear Venerable Sisters, dear Dhamma friends. So we have come to the next event of this meditation retreat, that is the Dhamma sermons. So may you all settle down and give your consent by saying sadhu sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Seelavanta uso kottita bhikkhuna panchupadana khandha sunyato yoniso manasika tabbati. Dear Venerable Sisters, Dhamma friends, as you may know that even yesterday we kept the same topic, that is Seelavanta Sutta, which we come across in Khandavagga in Samyutta Nikaya. So that is a very interesting sutta in terms of Vipassana, where a very interesting dialogue happened between Venerable Mahasariputta and Venerable Mahakottita. As you know, both of them are Arahants, accomplished Arahants. And at one occasion, both of them are living at Varanasi, Migadaya, where Buddha actually delivered his first Dhamma sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. At this occasion, Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahakottita were staying there. So, Venerable Mahakottita, after his day's meditation, approached Venerable Mahasariputta and asked a question. Bhante, if someone is now morally restrained, he is virtuous, what next he has to do? So, typically, in the traditional way of thinking, so the typical answer may be he may has to develop the concentration, samadhi, because he is now fairly good in his morality, sila. But here, Venerable Sariputta, without mentioning about concentration, he is directly putting the attention to the wisdom side, that is the Vipassana side, telling that when one is morally restrained, he has to contemplate or observe the Panchupadana Khandha, 5 clinging aggregates, as aniccato, dukkhato, rogato, gandato, sallato, agato, abadato, anattato, sunyato. Likewise, there are 11 terms he is explaining, and in this manner the clinging aggregates has to be contemplated, clinging aggregates has to be observed. So yesterday we discussed how one would observe the clinging aggregates as non-self. So there we discussed kind of wrong way of application, this wrong way of applying this non-self teaching and the proper way of applying non-self teaching. So today I thought of explaining the term sunyato, which is extremely profound and it is one of the key teaching of the Buddha. So probably you might have heard the term sunyata at various places, but here we will try to understand its value, why it is so important, and then how one would improve it. One would develop the concentration, this what we call as emptiness concentration, through the meditation. So to understand the value of this sunyata, I will refer one of the sutta comes in Anguttara Nikaya second Nipata, which comes as duets, where Buddha says, Sanimitta bhikkhave uppajjati papaka akusala dhamma no animitta. Tasseva nimittassa pahana evante papaka akusala dhamma na honti. So Buddha very clearly says, Sanimitta bhikkhave uppajjati papaka akusala dhamma. Monks, if there is a unwholesome state of mind to happen, it always happens with an association of a sign. If there is no sign, such unwholesome state cannot appear. Similarly, Buddha says, Sanarammana bhikkhave uppajjati papaka akusala dhamma no anarammana. So that means, whenever unwholesome state appear, it appears with association with an object. Without an object, there is no possibility of appearing of such a unwholesome state. So similarly, he says, sasanya bhikkhave uppajjati papaka akusala dhamma no asanya. With a perception, while associating a perception, this unwholesome state can appear. Without a perception, such unwholesome state cannot appear. So likewise, he elaborates that these unwholesome states, in order to appear, it always has to associate with an object. It always has to appear with a sign. It always has to have a perception. So there we get a kind of a clue, in case, if we can avoid such perception, if we can avoid such sign, then there's a possibility that mind can be maintained without any kind of unwholesome state. So that's logically we can infer, go to kind of a inferential way we can think, logically we can think. So at another time, Venerable Mogaraja approached Buddha and he asked a very interesting question. He asked, Katan lokang avekkantang machu raja na passati. He's asking from Buddha, which comes in Mogaraja Sutta in Sutta Nipata. He's asking, Bante, how one would avoid being seen by the Mara, by the evil one. So he wants to escape from Mara. He wants to escape from death, and he is asking how to escape from death or the evil one, the Mara. And Buddha giving a very beautiful verse there, he says, Sunyato lokang avikkassu mogaraja sada satu attanuditting uhacca evang machu tarosiya evang lokang avikkantang machu raja na passati. So it has very beautiful Dhamma there. So what Buddha explains is, Sunyato lokang avekkassu mogaraja sada sato. Mogaraja, if someone is ever mindful and look at the world as empty, attanuditting uhacca evang machu tarosiya, and he eliminated self-view and he is already surpassed the death. Evang lokang avekkantang machu raja na passati. So if someone is able to look at the world like that, then he is not being seen by the Mara, the evil one. So rather than Buddha telling any other strategy, here we can understand Buddha is telling that if someone has a capacity to see the world as empty, where he has the capacity to penetrate the self-view and he is ever mindful, then he can surpass death. He can avoid the evil one. So there also we have a fair evidence that this sunyata, this seeing everything as empty, has a major value in Dhamma. And again, there are several other suttas. I'll take a couple of them just to show you how important it is. So there's another sutta called Sangiti Sutta, appear in Digha Nikaya, where it is explained that if someone is sort of familiarizing with this animitta samadhi, say signless samadhi, this animitta samadhi and the sunyata samadhi has a fairly close association of fairly equal attributes, where both of them are not associating any kind of object. It does not associate any bodily object. It does not associate any feeling. It does not associate any kind of mental formation. And even it does not have typical conditioned consciousness. So therefore these two concentration types we can have with equal importance. So if one has sunyata samadhi or if one has animitta samadhi, both are very much the same, has same benefits. So in this particular sutta called Sangiti Sutta, so someone is asking, if someone the practitioner, if the practitioner has really practiced this sunyata or this animitta samadhi, he has made it abundant. He has made it like his own home. He's like his own vehicle. At any given time he can go there. Something like that he has made it really available for him. If such thing is done, is it possible for a consciousness to appear with a sign? Then it is said, no, it is not possible. So it says, Nissaranang hetang avso sabbanimittanang yadidang animitta cheto vimutti. So when someone is making this animitta samadhi abundant, again and again he is developing, again and again he is abiding with it, living with it, and keeping it close to him. Whenever he needs, he can go there. So then it becomes a kind of a cheto vimutti. It's kind of beyond samadhi, where he can live in it. Without much of a effort, he can go there. Immediately he can go there. It is in his hand like. That is why it is called yanikata. If we want to go somewhere and we have a vehicle and we are using that vehicle and going there. Similarly, animitta samadhi, at such time, he has made like a vehicle. To any time he can use it. Vattu kata is like his own possession. Yanikata, vattu kata, anuttita, parichita. Like that, likewise he has made it abundant. He has habituated it. So this is the way that one has developed animitta samadhi into a kind of a animitta cheto vimutti, where his total abiding is with animitta. Total abiding is with sunyata. So these are the way that the certain types of concentration has further developed to a cheto vimutti state, to a fairly available state. Even without exerting effort, one can immediately go there. So there the understanding or the teaching tells that if someone make this animitta samadhi or animitta cheto vimutti available for him, then it is very unlikely for him this sign, the mind is taking signs. So mind is now prefer to not to take signs. And then again there are several other suttas, and where Buddha really emphasized the value of these three concentration types in order to relinquish various types of defilements. So one may come across this in Anguttara Nikaya Tika Nipata, where Buddha says, Ragassa bhikkhave abhiññāya tayo dhamma bhave tabba katame tayo sunyato samadhi animitto samadhi appanihito samadhi. So if someone wants to fully understand lust, he may have to develop three types of concentration. What are those three? This is animitta samadhi, that is a signless concentration. Sunyata samadhi, empty concentration, emptiness concentration. Appanihita samadhi, wishless concentration. So there Buddha is emphasizing, if someone wants to understand lust, so he has to develop these samadhis, these concentrations. And not only that, he uses several other terms. Ragassa bhikkhave pariññāya. So if one has to fully understand, comprehensively understand lust, then the same thing, the same concentrations have to be developed. Then parikkayaya, to completely destroy this lust, then these three concentrations have to be developed. Then pahanaya, to abandon lust, then these three concentrations has to be developed. Then khayaya, to make it sort of destroy, to vanish, then these concentrations have to be developed. Then vayaya, to destruct, to destroy, these concentrations has to be developed. Viragaya, to make it fading away, these concentrations has to be developed. Nirodhaya, to make it cease, these concentrations has to be developed. Then chagaya, to give up lust, this concentration has to be developed. Then patinissagaya, just to relinquish, these concentration has to be developed. But this is not only for lust. And Buddha explains it for the hatred, for the conceit, for various other types of hatred, various other types of defilements. He is giving a long list of defilements. And to eradicate these defilements, to fully understand them, to cease them, to vanish them, to destroy them, these concentrations have to be developed. So you can understand Buddha has given a fair emphasis for these three concentrations, and it does not mean that all three has to be developed, but if one is familiar with one, then the purpose can be done. So that is why certain suttas emphasize sunyata, certain suttas emphasize animitta. So both have a similar approach and similar ways of development. So as practitioners, so it is quite interesting or quite important to see how these things are developed. So in that account, we can logically understand how the process would happen in meditation. Say you are living in a city with various noise. Say you have various, say you are living